Walk into any gym and you will see someone swinging a heavy dumbbell, throwing their lower back into every repetition to force the weight up. It is the classic image of vanity lifting, focused entirely on pumping up the arms. Meanwhile, across that same gym, someone else is doing 500 crunches a day, exhausted and frustrated because their abdominal muscles are still completely hidden under a layer of fat. Clinical trials from the University of Sydney show that targeting specific areas for fat loss is a biological myth. You cannot dictate where your body decides to burn its fat reserves. To use fat for energy, your body relies on lipolysis, converting triglycerides into free fatty acids. But it does not pull those acids directly from the flexed muscle. It draws systemically, draining fat reserves from across your entire body at once. Since isolated abdominal exercises cannot selectively melt stomach fat, building a tighter midsection requires a full-body metabolic response. Surprisingly, the bicep curl can provide exactly the trigger needed to kickstart that change. Stripping away the vanity, a strict curl is a significant mechanical challenge. It starts from the ground up, requiring your feet to be planted firmly at shoulder width to create a rigid physical base. Before moving the weight, tighten your transversus abdominis as if preparing to take a punch. As the dumbbell arcs upward, its weight creates a forward and rotational pull. To prevent tipping, that pressurized core cylinder actively fights the weight, pulling backward equally. Holding that tension requires a specific breathing rhythm. You inhale on the downward release and exhale forcefully on the upward contraction, utilizing short, shallow breaths so the abdominal pressure never drops. Removing your bilateral stability by lifting one foot or pressing weights alternately overhead creates a much more aggressive rotational force for the core to neutralize. By killing the momentum and locking the torso into place, an arm exercise becomes a high-intensity stabilization drill for your deepest abdominal muscles. While your core manages the external stability, a distinct chemical cascade fires off inside the contracting arm muscles. Muscle contraction triggers non-insulin glucose uptake. Every flex acts as a microscopic pump, physically pulling glucose molecules out of your bloodstream. Consistent resistance training adds lean tissue. As those fibers grow, your body expands its physical capacity to hold larger clusters of glucose. Muscle is highly active tissue. Carrying more of it increases your basal metabolic rate, meaning your body burns more energy even when you are sitting completely still. The intensity of this load-bearing work also triggers an afterburn effect. Your metabolic state can remain elevated for up to 4 days after you leave the gym. Building lean muscle in your arms alters your chemical composition, increasing your daily energy expenditure and helping your body manage blood sugar levels more efficiently. Executed with strict tension, the bicep curl functions as a compound movement for core strength and metabolic conditioning. You can apply this mechanical reality to your own training using a structured 25-day progression plan. During weeks 1 and 2, drop the dumbbell weight significantly. Completely eliminate any backwards body swing and focus entirely on maintaining that rigid 360-degree core brace through every single repetition. For weeks 3 and 4, introduce unstable and unilateral variations 2 to 3 times a week. Lifting with a single arm or standing on one leg forces your midsection to constantly fight asymmetrical loads. Track your sets closely. You will know the protocol is working when you have to stop a set because your abdominal stabilizers give out before your arm muscles do. Real-world strength and total body fat loss happen when you force your entire body to brace, adapt, and operate as one interconnected kinetic chain.